Hello, beautiful peasants, and welcome in. Feeling good this morning. Hope you guys are having a good start to your day, and if not, hopefully the stream makes your day a little bit better. All right, who do we got here? We got Corey's back again. Paint. Oh, someone new talking. PHP Deb. Hello, hello. Oh, good, you got gifted membership recently, so you got the cute little emojis now. I love it. Just Slingwall, of course, Eloa, and Bunny. Hello to everyone. Welcome in. All right, couple things here. So I went ahead and added a poll at the top here, so you can guys choose what model I work on today. The Chicken Musketeer is winning by a landslide so far, which is fair. Hey, Steamworks, welcome in. And then I have brought back the D20 of Destiny, and I just have it set. It's open for the next 2 hours, which means at any point if you donate a teal, not blue, teal. It cracks me up, so fancy. Anyway, teal donation, super chat, I think it's like $5 US. You can roll the D20 of Destiny. I'm not limiting it to happy hour specific or whatever. I'm just letting that be open because I am actually getting a lot of work done. Like I kind of like had things on lockdown for a little bit because I was like, I need to work. But yeah, I look at my backlog today and we're cooking. We're looking really good. So I also have the attitude, right, a good attitude to allow interruptions again. So yes. Oh, and then my Kickstarter is finally, like its final hours. I think it's in three more days. So yeah. Oh yeah, Eloa is celebrating being a member for 5 months. Final week of Summer Art Fest. Yes, get arting, peasants. And yeah, if you haven't looked already, hop into our Discord and jump right over to M3DM Summer Art Fest. We have a new submission from Blue Jester this morning. And man, Dr. Wildfire has been killing it. This is easily the best thing that they've made so far. This is all 3D printed. They're making like a stained glass mosaic pretty much with a 3D printer. It's just incredible. God, they're so much fun. Create. Love it. Oh, there's the plan for it. Anyway, sorry, the prompts for this week, the final week, are Corrupted, Heavenly, and Champion. And then you also get to spin a wheel once yourself to have a special prompt unique to you. You don't have to tackle every single prompt, but if you are feeling extra creative and feel like you can handle all of them, go ahead and do so. So yes. Corey said, Mia, when did you get the headset? Or when did the headset wearing start? I noticed yesterday, it looks like a good one. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I saw this a while ago on Steel Series or something, and I really just enjoy it. So yeah. I think it was a cute thing that we saw Ricky and I like a year ago. I can't remember. But anyway, it was just a really cool thing. And we happened to be on sale, so there you go. Also, I'm surprised Eloa hasn't joked that I'm bald today. I always joke whenever I have like my bun. He just like, no hair. But yeah, thank you, Corey. I really like it. It was a special treat for sure. And it was meant to be because it's on sale. So I'm like, oh, I gotta do it. All right, make sure you guys keep on voting. It looks like the Chicken Musketeer is losing its spot a little bit. I haven't decided if it is literally going to be a chicken with, like the hat and a sword, or if it's going to be like a chicken bird folk. I have not decided. I'm leaning towards literal chicken. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, hello, I don't even talk about that. Oh, you crack me up. Hey, Otaka. Hello. I know which one you voted for. Otaka, that fairy butterfly that's in the poll right now, that's actually your request. Or butterfly fairy. That's just what I'm calling it right now. I'll call it something else later. Well, we get started pretty soon here. I'm just finishing up my second coffee of the day. Then we get this Black Cat Bandit Thief. It's Liza P inspired. We'll get this ready for posing in Character Creator 4 and then move on to a new sculpt today. Pretty excited. It cracks me up how easy streaming has become for me. Like the other day, we did like just over a 3-hour stream, and it felt so fast. It felt so short to me. I used to find streaming for that long absolutely exhausting, but after having that stint there where I'd stream for almost 5 hours every day, building up a bit of muscle, I guess, creative art muscle, performing muscle. Sounds good, Corey. Thanks for tuning in for a bit. Have fun building that shelf with your dad. Oh, how fun. Of course there's a Magic the Gathering card inspired by this. Thank you, Bunny. Creature, bird. Chicken a la king. Okay, his face looks a little horrifying, but the rest of it's quite charming. Eloa says, Mia, I have unlocked a new dopamine perk while sculpting. Whenever I make something, I manage to connect it to something else for extra printing support whilst making it look natural. Right? Isn't that the most fun? Yes, it's happening. I don't usually do any of those adjustments until I have posed it, but sometimes you can figure out how to do that during the blockout process as well. All right, looks like festivities, welcome-ins have happened. I'm gonna get focused here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ping me. So yeah, let's get started. So a couple of things here. One, I want to finalize the design and make something. He doesn't have that like it factor, if that makes sense. I think it might be a level of tertiary details that I'm missing, or I've just been working on so many insane models recently that it just feels a little underwhelming, which is okay. I think the pose is going to be a big factor here. All right, let me go ahead and check out if there's any other little weapons or bits or bobs I want to add to this character. I don't think so. In that case, it's just going to be a lot of wear and tear and making sure that all these aren't just chaotically named. A few weeks back when we had some of those bigger streamers and like just not streamers but artists, you know, joining, I was like low-key, I was like, oh my god, I hope they don't look at my subtools. It's so unorganized, it's a mess. I do get to it eventually. So I mentioned on the last stream that summer tends to be really busy for me because there's a lot of fun things that happen, and then of course just a lot of like yard work that needs to be done and whatnot on top of like, you know, working and doing this. And speaking of, yeah, this Thursday, I think it is, our local fair has the tractor pulls. I'm really excited about it. I know if that's not the most like yeehaw thing you've ever heard, but it is so much fun. Last year we went, they had pretty much like, I mean, there was like an adult driving the tractor, but technically the one doing the controls and stuff was like his like 8-year-old grandson. Just, it's so much fun to watch. Also, I am curious what you guys are working on. Eloa especially, I have a hard time keeping track of all the things that you've been working on lately. Still cooking on those commissions for Micah? Right, that looks pretty good. I have the sleeves tucked back a little bit, just because if they're too close to the hand, when you rig this, it ends up binding to the wrist bone and it gets all like distorted and stuff. There we go. And then also when you have pieces like this, it needs to be mapping to either like the right side of the body or the left. And that means you need to have these sleeves as 2 separate subtools. So I'll go ahead and do that. And Eloa says, I completely finished Micah's first commission, and I'm finishing my second one for my friend's D&D character. Oh, wasn't that the Aasimar cleric? Then I have Sean's commission of a cute fox character, and then Micah's second commission. Wow, that's just fantastic. You literally like, opened up the window to like, for commissions, and immediately were swamped. I love to see it, truly. I want to add a little bit more wear and tear just to have something a little more interesting right here. And so to achieve that, I'm going to use the knife brush. This gives you varying mixed results sometimes, and it likes to crash, so I really encourage you to save before you use the knife brush, pretty much any time before you use the knife brush. You really shouldn't be using it with anything that's too high and like topology wise. This is 60,000 points, so I'm kind of pushing it. And then it's also directional, so if I go clockwise, that's what it's going to keep. But I want to remove material, so I'm going to go counterclockwise. There we go. I did a pretty good job. Eloa says, Mia, I have a really cool before and after image to show you. I would love to see it whenever you're ready. Feel free to just put it in the live stream hub so I can see it right away, or just tell me in the chat when you send it to me. It's always a good stream. I get to share some Eloa art. This mask turned out pretty good. I'm really, really glad I was able to repurpose the fox mask pretty easily. I don't know if you guys remember, but making this mask was an ordeal. Really tricky to get to look right. I'm gonna add a little bit more substance to this mask. It is kind of on the thin side. So I'm gonna use move and backface mask on the mask. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna remesh by union and kind of getting this prepared for 3D printing even before I pose. The cleaner I can get this now, the faster I can get this ready for 3D printing after it is all finished and posed. Does that make sense? Ooh, that's an interesting artifact. What is that? If it's gonna be silly, I have no problem with that. I have many tricks. Oh, and don't forget to vote in that poll while that is live. Once I'm done with this, I'm gonna move straight to whatever has won. But I'm expecting it's gonna be the chicken. Shape the hair a little better here. And then I might as well merge those down. No, leave them separate. All right, this is just about done. And again, remember, because these boots are on two different sides of the model, it's gonna be very, very important that I have them as two different subtools. Otherwise, they're not going to rig properly. Or at least that's the case for Character Creator 4. I actually can't remember the rigging process in Blender. It's been so long since I've done it. I might be a little bit quieter today because I've got a bunch of things I'm excited to work on. But rest assured, if you guys have any questions, like, feel free to at me in the chat. It's a creative day, and I kind of had a little breakthrough on the website. So here's a story. I got some stuff I can talk about. Okay, so I'm working on this website, right? And essentially, I want it to be somewhere where my patrons can sync up their Patreon status with this website and then get access to their respective models. Because Legendary get everything and Rare just gets some, right? But then I want people that aren't paying to be able to like look, like everyone wants to just like see everything that's available, right? Even I do. I think that's kind of fun to see. So that's what I've been obsessed with, and I've been building it in WordPress. So, as you can imagine, I'm essentially making a new listing for every model I've made, which is over 1,000. We passed 1,000 about a month ago. It's a lot, right? And so I got like 600 of them done with like custom tags and like sorting and everything was working. And I had 400 left and I was like, you know what? This is stupid. And I pretty much deleted everything that I had created, but I kept my tagging system and like all the metadata that I had done so I can automate it. So I've been working on, I have a spreadsheet in Google Drive where once I upload all the information to that, not upload, I just enter like the title, it dynamically grabs the image and the Google Drive link. I wrote code for that and then tagging them. So I've had AI help me generate tags and I go through and I edit all of them. Because like most of my tags are in the title, like it'd be Centaur Druid. So obviously the class tag is Druid, for example. And it's just been, your girl can't code, okay? I can read code really well, and for the most part, I've been generating that with ChatGPT, being like, "Hey, write code for this," and I read through the code, and I'm like, "Why did you do this? This is stupid. Do this." Like, I know enough to like tell it to not do things or to fix things, and that's been working quite well, actually. And like, I can code basic things, but most of the coding I understand it has to do with like having LEDs light up, because that's what we did in class years ago. But anyway. Last night I was working on this and I finally got all of my models consolidated into one spreadsheet, and I got some posts to dynamically create just by clicking a button, pulling from the spreadsheet. So it's very, very, very exciting. So it's pretty much going to be like, oh, I'm working on the website, I'm working on it, and then one day it's just going to be done, because once I get everything working all the way. What's left now is some formatting and just styling of the website and the way all of this data interacts. But so far, everything has been working really well. If that didn't make any sense, I'm just doing website stuff. That's all you need to know. Look what my husband asked. He's like, what are you working on right now? I'm like, it's code. I'm doing code. In case you're wondering, like, why not, just continue uploading it manually? You were so close. It's the principle. I'm going to be making a lot of models still, and I don't want to have to manually create a new post in WordPress every single time. I want to be able to enter that data into a spreadsheet and then have it dynamically populate like by clicking a button. That just makes so much more sense. So yeah, I'm excited. And then Eloa said, cool, I sent a DM. It's a nice before and after for your students. Awesome. I hope you like it. I'm sure I won't. I'm just joking. Here we go. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, my work 9 months ago. I didn't attempt hair because I had no idea how to. I spent like 4 weeks just on this. Okay. Yeah, you've grown a ton since then. I mean, there's a lot to like here still. I remember you have a fancy render of this on your ArtStation. And then I found M3DM and began my art improvement properly. You're improving still. It helps when you got someone to point stuff out. All right, my work over the past 7 days or so. Wow. Yeah, you love to see it. You love to see it. That armor does look super clean and good. Yeah, I can definitely tell from this one especially. Oh, thanks for the sub. Brat Wombat. That's a great name. I can definitely tell you followed my tutorial on that breastplate. Isn't it a good shape? Very cool. Oh, I'm so glad. But still, it's uniquely yours. Absolutely. This screams Eloa. Oh, what an improvement in just the last week or so. 9 months versus the last 7 days of work. That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you. It has been an absolute joy to teach you, seriously. I think especially for you, having because my mentorship program is so flexible, it allows me to teach students like you as well, where you pretty much do your own thing and they just have big check-ins every now and then. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. That makes me feel really good. Man, that's so awesome. It's just been a really good week because I also have one of my other students, Matt, they're finishing up their Kickstarter that's done really well. And then in my DMs with other students, they've been referencing Matt's project. Oh, how do I do that? That was so cool. And it's just cool to see you guys being inspired by each other too. Speaking of, the logo you drafted up for Rat Girl looks incredible. You are a gift to this community, seriously. It's so nice to see all you guys interact and help each other. All right, let me see if this is low enough poly. I need this to be around 300,000 points or lower. It's at 333,000. We're close. Oh, it's those stupid sleeves. The sleeves are ridiculously high poly. Yeah, they're 65,000 points each. No. We'll fix that. All right, that has been reduced. This has been reduced. Awesome, I got this pose prepped in under 30 minutes. It's been a while since I've had a doors open that didn't extend like double. Good. Much better. We're at 299,000 points. Just perfect. Excuse me. Eloa says, I'm so happy with it because this also isn't my normal style. I prefer demonic and grimdark, but this is very clean and holy. And I mention all the time on stream, but like when you're working on clean and like hard surface, there's like nothing to hide behind and it looks like nothing until it's done, or that's what it feels like. So good on you for pushing through, seriously. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy for you. That's fantastic. Also, even though you prefer doing like, you know, demonic, grimdark stuff, being able to sculpt this like holy and clean stuff, it's going to improve your grimdark because you're going to have stronger areas of like rest where the model is less detailed. And if you don't practice it, you're not good at it, right? So that you're getting good at both styles, it's going to make your grimdark even spookier. Yeah. Very good. All right, I think this is all ready to go. Not overcomplicating it. This is just a really solid, clean model. I'm gonna let Ricky know that he doesn't have to use this spear if he doesn't want to. Bandit Fighter, let me get that uploaded, and then we'll get started on this chicken musketeer. Google Drive has not wanted to feel rushed recently. It's really taken a moment to open each folder. Come on. So if you haven't voted in the poll already, decide what I work on today, you got like a minute left to do so. Speak now or forever hold your peace. There we go, got that uploaded. Perfect. All right, I'm very happy with that. Now let's move right along to this chicken musketeer. Most of this model is just me working on the hat, I think. Thank you guys for voting, I appreciate it. That poll has been closed. Eloa says, by the way, Mia, the weather here has cooled slightly, still warm, has a breeze to it, so it's a very sleepy Tuesday for most people. Oh yeah, I don't mind at all. Also, especially here, like it's after the 4th of July weekend. I don't know if it's possible for people to still be hungover, but that's a thing here. Again, my number is 10. If I hit 10 viewers on a stream, success. I don't even care if it hits 10 and drops back down to 2. I'm like, ooh, we had 10 people here at one point. That's my number. So, makes me happy. It's so important, like seriously, to all my other like fellow artists and creatives. So like, it's hard to not care about the numbers game, the analytics game. Luckily, our brains are very simple, and if you just give your brain a very clear expectation and check back in with yourself, it's like a little secret to happiness. Seriously. If you guys ever heard the phrase, but like happiness is an equation, you know, it's not this simple, but essentially your happiness is equal to your expectations minus reality. And you can actually put it the other way too, reality minus expectations even. But essentially, if your expectations are super high, even if your reality is great, it doesn't matter because it's subtractive. You know what I mean? So just, it doesn't mean don't have any goals, but if you shoot for the moon, oh, you'll land amongst the stars. That doesn't work because the way that we are is people will just be like, well, I didn't get to the moon. Like, it's a shitty way to think, but it's very natural. So I like to have expectations and then goals. So I pick the thing that I want to achieve. Let's say I want to make a model today, right? And then I cut that goal in half. That's my expectation. I expect to get half of the chicken musketeer done today. And if I get anything done more than that, amazing. I was talking to one of my students, Rat Girl, and she was asking about like Kickstarters and like how to get projects done and whatnot. And she was like, I think I can get this done in 1 to 2 weeks. And I was like, great. You're giving yourself 4 weeks. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but whenever you set a timeline, just double your timeline. I know if it's like, that's ridiculous, that's giving myself way too much time. That's fine, you can finish early, but set your expectations a double. Trust me on this. Life happens, and it will just eat you up. If you don't give your brain something to chew on, some expectation, it chews on you. That's the best way I can put it. And if like you're just like healthy and easy breezy like my husband, oh my god, my husband is unflappable. He can like move expectations and not be a jerk to himself. I'm not like that. So if you're like Ricky, great. Go be happy. But if you're not, like everyone else, I think, set some expectations for yourself. Yes. Eloa, being overly hard on yourself could never be me. Yeah, exactly. All right. We've gotten a touch of existential dread. We got my first thing done on my little spreadsheet here, or spreadsheet. This is not a spreadsheet. I'm working the website so much, everything to me is a spreadsheet right now. Sticky note. All right, let's get this chicken musketeer blocked out. Some days I write things down, other days I don't. I'm feeling like relaxed, but maybe a little scatterbrained, so I just write it down and then I don't worry about it. All right. Hey, hello, meditating monkey. Welcome in. All right. Welcome to the Tavern Keeper's Craft. So this is where I sculpt Patreon models. So if I haven't already introduced myself, hi, my name is Mia of M3DM. It's my husband and I that run this, and our whole business is taking requests from people that support us on Patreon and making them into 3D printable tabletop characters. So that can mean characters, creatures, terrain. It really covers everything. So today's request was for a chicken musketeer. And I am blessed to have a very awesome community that just likes my art. It took years to get here, but we're here. That's awesome. What I mean by that is I can take this request in a few different directions. So a chicken musketeer, I can make it like a chicken folk, like a bird folk, kind of like anthropomorphic, or a literal chicken in a full musketeer outfit, which I think is what we're going to do today. Literal chicken. Yeah. I like the idea that, you know, especially this musketeer hat always has like that big feather sticking out of it. So I'll probably give this chicken pretty exaggerated tail feathers, maybe more on the rooster-esque side, because I think it'd be adorable if he took one of his own tail feathers and put it in his hat. So yes, let's get started. Oh, and if you want to submit a request, all this information is linked in the description. You can become a patron and put in your own request. All right, let's get started. Let's go ahead and save this, Bandit Fighter. It always concerns me when it prompts to save. I'm like, didn't I just do that? Although it says, I really like that coin bag. Thanks, it's simple. Gets the job done. All right, I'm gonna delete all of this, I just don't need it, and I'm going to import a chicken. I believe that that animal pack I got from Rowena Frenzel has a chicken. If not, we'll just sculpt one. Oh look, what do you know? Chicken. We have a chicken with the wings open and with the wings closed. We'll go with wings closed. Yeah. My, that's actually a really great starting point. Okay. Let's get started. The first thing that I like to do is put a little like stamp here so we can kind of see my progress as we work. In 2 hours, it's gonna look completely different. And the next thing I do is what I call like the kit bashing phase. I look at all my assets from previous projects and see if anything's gonna work. In this case, I definitely don't think we want pants on our chicken. Pantsless chicken. But this piece right here is very medieval feeling, this bit of trim. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Go to append, and I can click on this right here to bring it into this new scene. Anything else I want to grab? I don't think so. Oh, Grizzly Games is here. I believe that you're new. Hi, welcome. At first, I thought this was Hero Forge, but it looks way better. Oh, thank you. Hey, Hero Forge has great stuff, but their people don't always like it because of the proportions. They look a little more dwarf-like, a little more chunky, you know? I definitely have a more realistic style, which can be harder to paint because the faces are so itty bitty tiny, you know? But that's just the style that I like. And I also think it complements all of like my creatures and stuff. Man, I need to paint this cherry blossom dragon. I know it's gonna look awesome. Again, you think it's difficult to get all your minis painted? Try being a sculptor, because I print all my stuff before I share it with patrons, right? But I sculpt a lot, so I have like hundreds of unpainted minis, not even including minis that I've bought. Monkey, give him a turkey leg. That's pretty grimdark for this chicken, I think. That's a pretty metal chicken. I mean, he's gonna be a musketeer, but we'll see. All right, let's keep on going. Again, this is the very, very early stage, so it's gonna look a little meh. It's gonna look unfinished, because it's unfinished. It sounds simple to say, but I try to repeat that a lot because my students are hard on themselves. So if I'm being judgy of my work when it's not finished, I know they're gonna do the same thing. So I'm trying to be an example or something. Alrighty. Ooh, this I think is gonna work better for what I have in mind. Again, normally I would do like a bird folk, right? But this request was really open-ended. They just said a chicken musketeer, not a chicken folk, not like a kenku, which means I have options. Anything else I want from here? Again, we're gonna make this epic hat. So I'm looking at the hats I have right now. You'll notice that some of them are much lower poly than others, and I want something that's very workable. Like this witch hat looks nice, it's ready to go, but even though I have broken separate pieces, I can't use my Z modeler brush on this. This cowboy hat, however, is a newer asset I've created, and it's much cleaner. That's going to be a lot easier to work with and to edit. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, there's a lot of similarities between this cowboy hat and this musketeer hat that I want to make. So that's going to be the perfect starting point. Very good. We'll use that. We're almost at the end of our kit bashing stage here, and then we'll get into some actual sculpting. Oh, this is going to be such a silly model. I'm looking forward to this. I've had a lot of really tricky models recently. This is kind of a breath of fresh air. How do I put a shirt on this silly little dude? And of course, we'll need to give him like a really fancy like rapier of some sort. Okay. Because he doesn't really have hands. He's a chicken. So we're gonna need to get creative here. I'm gonna go with this coat right here. I'm actually gonna cinch it with a belt to get the effect that we want. Actually, this might be a little easier to work with. Yes, and I'll do those like really classic puffy sleeves. Those I'm going to need to create from scratch though, because I don't really have sleeves that are designed to fit a chicken. Imagine that. All right, let's get these loosely positioned. This is going to be more of a decorative piece, I figure out after the fact. Again, I like creating this way because it lets me concept shapes really quickly. I can kind of figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. I think that's too detailed. Let's keep it really nice and simple. Oh gosh, this is gonna be ridiculous. I'm excited about it. He must have a turkey leg. No. Hello. Oh my god. Look at him. Yeah, he's gonna be cute. Hey, new sub. Thank you. All right, let's get rid of that trim piece. And here is our kit bashing stage. It's something. Let's do another little screenshot. We'll have like a little storyboard here as this comes together. Oh, we might as well bring in a nice base. I have that flower and grass base I've created before. It's all poly painted, ready to go. I think that's gonna look perfect. There it is. Again, so everything that I create is for 28mm scale, but a lot of that is dictated just by the relationship of the character to the base. So by changing that relationship, you can get 32mm scale, 52, 72, whatever you want. Something to. All right, I'm gonna remove all of the clothing for right now. And let's get some poly paint on this silly bird. I'm also gonna click split to similar parts, and that should clean up my subtools a bit here. Here we go. So dynamically split these up into individual subtools so they're a little easier for me to work on and customize. I'll need to merge some stuff down right from the get-go. Like these little toes are a lot more pieces than I expected, which is fine. I find the easiest way to get stuff all merged down is to hold down Shift and click on this little arrow. It sends it to the very top of your list. So everything merged down like that, and there you go. Hold Shift, click, and then merge down. Bam, we got a whole foot. Excellent. Let's get some colors. When you're poly painting, try to avoid going super saturated neon. Actually, it doesn't even look that bad. But by working with these really saturated colors, it's just a little hard to look at. You want to be in this area over here, generally speaking. Not always, you know how art is. There's always different, there's always exceptions to the rule and whatnot. This is a really excellent base mesh from Rowena. This one especially is well done. I don't know what these little pieces are right here, and I don't think I need them. So, delete hidden. There we go. Let's give him some little eyeballs. I'm going to give him a very severe looking expression, and I'll show you guys some little shortcuts for making feathers. He already has a lot of nice feathers on him, but you can get like a really cool detailed look with the VDM brush that's already in ZBrush. All right, so for the eyeball, I like to simply mask the top and the bottom to create eyelids. Even though it's such a small part of the model, this is a detail that you don't want to skimp on. Give your characters eyelids, trust me. Like already, I feel like that's a hysterical expression. Like, I use polish by features to kind of clean up that jagged edge right there. Close holes and then ZBrush with half turned on. I went nice and low poly. Can do that a few times. All right, we got some eyelids now. Now I'm gonna use my move brush and start positioning them. These also serve as nice little, like I call them paint grabbers. So if you're like dry brushing his face, the eye won't just disappear. There we go, see? That looks much nicer. Let's merge all this down and give him two eyes. Neat. I'm gonna start adjusting our base mesh here with my standard brush and just start developing, kind of pushing more of like the stylized anthropomorphic look without making him not a chicken. Like he still can very obviously be a chicken. We're not making a cartoon chicken per se. I just want to be like a little serious looking little bird. There we go. Here is that technique I was talking about with feathers. So bring up a brush palette with B and then chisel creature and the scale brush right here. By default, it's gonna look really sharp. You probably don't want that. So just lower your Z intensity and increase your focal shift. That's the fall off, how it's gonna blend into your mesh. And you'll see, you can get this like really nice, kind of softer layered look here. Again, you're gonna need to play with it a little bit, but there you go. You can really quickly get some little feather details in here. See what I mean? And you turn on symmetry. Eloa says, Mia, whenever I felt I was unsure on how to do something or couldn't quite get something I wanted, I'd basically kit bash your videos on demand. Look at some wings you did here, some demon wings there. What an awesome, so the VOD library is an awesome resource. Aw, thank you. Yeah, every stream that I do is public on my channel after the fact. Where's my chapstick? There it is. Yeah, I need to get those more organized too. Although you kind of mentioned that, like certain live streams I've done are especially valuable to look back on. And I stream so often that they can get buried very, very easily. So I'm still playing with this to get just the shape that I want. And then once I figure out what I like, I can start layering it up really quickly. There we go. It's also somewhat sensitive to what angle your camera is, so just kind of experiment until you find something that works. There we go. I'm gonna do the same thing with his neck. And then notice that I'm not using the exact same size feather. If you do that, it just kind of makes your model look a little heavy. You don't want it overly detailed. You want to have like a nice flow to it. You don't want to blanket it with the exact same texture everywhere. Oop, chicken butt. And whenever you get to the center line, turn off symmetry and do that manually. Otherwise you're gonna get some weird little artifacts and whatnot. So as I get closer to the head, I'm making the feathers smaller. One, because that's what they actually do in real life, but also because I want the area by the head to be more detail dense to draw more attention to it. See, very quickly, that's looking really nice. It can be so easy to overthink your models. Just get something done. Does that make sense? Or you're feeling like really locked up. The worst thing you can do is create bad art. Who cares? Just make something. I actually make my students practice making bad art because you have to make all kinds of silly art before you start making great stuff. So it seems silly to put pressure on yourself that every time you go to create, it needs to be fantastic. It's just not realistic. I think these are the same subtool, yes, and that's going to make this a little difficult to pose. So let's go ahead and make these two separate objects. I'm just going to mask holding Command W, and then split mask points. I can delete this little artifact here. I'm going through this really quickly right now, so if you're watching this and you're like, wait, what? Let me know and I can break it down a little bit more. There we go. What is this piece? Nothing. There we go. I know the legs are going to be visible, so anything that's not going to be covered with clothes, I want to make sure has some feather detailing on it. I'm also realizing now the chicken's turning out really nice. I should probably make a version of this that is not a musketeer, but just a normal chicken. Out of all the animals that I've sculpted and I have available in my asset library, I don't think I have a single chicken. How funny is that? It's like one of the most common little village animals. I wonder how many models I will need to sculpt before I think that I have a good basis on, like, I don't know, what's most common, because I'm at 1,000 and I still am missing like essentials, like a chicken. Luckily, I don't need to worry about that. I can just keep on sculpting. That's why I love working on the request board so much, because I know at least one person's going to want it, right? Theoretically, I mean, they requested it. I was really worried to focus my business on just sculpting requests initially, because I was like, what if people just ask for dumb things that are like super niche? Something that I found is that nothing is too niche. It cracks me up. Even the most, what I think is like a really unusual request, there's someone else like, oh, I needed that. I'm like, really? You also needed a chicken musketeer? Okay, neat. I'm afraid we have done it. We've achieved peak character design. He is a cutie patootie. I'm having a really good stream. This is fun. I'm really glad you guys voted for the chicken. All right, I'm trying to get this like banding on the legs. I don't know why we're at 1,000,000 points to do it. Let's go ahead and Dynamesh. We just don't need to be that high poly. There we go. Just throw some simple texture on this. I'm using an alpha, this alpha with damp standard. I'm sure you can get a cleaner look if you do all of it by hand, but I kind of like the scratchy organicness of this too. Feet are looking good. Well, because I'm going to do just a normal chicken, I guess I will detail all of it. It's sure not taking very long. Just really notice that each time I get to a different body part, I'm not just blanketing the feathers the exact same way. They look cohesive, obviously, but it's not identical. There we go. These feathers are a little funny. Not really sure how I want to detail the wings. I'm gonna move the tail feathers around a bit and probably make them a little larger and a little more exaggerated, because that's just fun. It's gonna, by the time I'm done with it, it's gonna be more like a hen rooster. There we go. Excellent. Eloa says, I have made some very loose ideas on where to take my art in the future. It is nothing set in stone, more just a rough concept, but having an Eloa Grimdark collection where I make huge creatures is what I really want to do eventually. That's gonna be awesome. I'm already excited about that. Like, I understand, like, you know, plans change and things will iterate in scope and whatever, but that's a pretty good starting point. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I can definitely see you like 3D printing like giant creatures. That would be awesome. Like giant multi-part creatures. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I see it. I still think it's crazy that like you just stumbled upon my stream one day and now I get to like see this art journey up close. I don't know. It's awesome. Monk, you will not let go of the turkey leg. I love it. I know this chicken is turkey legless. I might say that way. Eloa says the Eloa X M3DM collab might go global. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. go ahead and get some feathery shapes here. This is what I call a good enough design. It's not very sexy, but there's nothing wrong with having a good enough design. What is this? What is this funny little thing? No. There you go. Like, artifact be gone. Yeah, we got this funny little thing here. I want it to be a bit cleaner. There we go. Actually, you know what? It looked better before. Not a problem. There we go. Hey, Taylor's here. Cowgirl chicken? It's gonna be a chicken musketeer. But yes, I grabbed my cowboy hat for now because I don't have a musketeer hat. I don't know what that's even called. Close. Eloa said, if you had more dirt available like you guys wanted, would you have made more farm-like animals such as chickens? You know it. No, we definitely have enough land now to have chickens. I just don't want to spend money on anything right now. That's not a house. We are coming up on a new savings goal though, which is very, very exciting. ZBrush, did you really have to crash over that? Nothing happened. ZBrush could not handle the epicness of the chicken. Who attacked me? What's happening? At M3DM. Feathers that grow. Oh boy. Oh, this is not about the chicken. Okay, that's fair. Here we go. This is inspiration from Somali to Mori no Kami-sama. Really weird anime to watch. Not NSFW, just maybe a phobia for some people. Okay, gotcha. I appreciate that. Very cool. The feathers that grow. These are humanoid that are slowly mutating with angelic features. Ooh. Paint, you have not disappointed with these stat blocks. These have been extremely cool and creative. I hope you keep doing them even after the Summer Art Fest. Speaking of, we're definitely going to do more events like this in the future. I lost my wing detail. Oh my gosh. It took me like whole minutes, guys. Devastation. What will I do? Oh look, the same thing. There we go. We've recovered. Eloa says, Mia, when you bring up Lightbox where you have all those quick saves, I'd like to do something with that. With this? So, what do you want? What do you want with this? I get rid of it somewhat often, so just keep that in mind. Meditating Monkey says, it was a lack of turkey leg. ZBrush was not having it. Don't you curse my stream, monkey. Alright, wings. Getting all this labeled correctly. I got this little crest thing. Let's get all of that merged down and detailed together. Subdivide it a few times. I'm gonna come over this with my standard brush and just add some texture. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit of love for the chicken. Yes, we did not have symmetry turned on. There we go. Fixed. I don't know if it's supposed to be on both sides like this. Oh, no, I guess it is. Monkey says, it's not my fault. That makes me think it's your fault. Eloa says, imagine having a screenshot at the end of each week showing off the quick saves you went through. At the end of each month, you get an ultra-wide image that could zoom in like a tapestry. You're so creative. I love this. By the end of the year, you would have your entire work into one tapestry of quick saves. I jump around a little bit, but you're right. For the most part, it is pretty coherent. Why does this keep happening? I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because that's a new thing that keeps popping up and it's bothering me. All right, that's for later. That could be really cool. I'm not going to keep the screenshots because I know I'll just delete them, but I'll look at them more often. And then Taylor says, maybe the mohawk. I think it's called a comb, I think. But yeah, like mohawk. On the chicken can stick through the Musketeer hat, acting as the feather plume. I was thinking of taking one of the tail feathers and making it part of that, but I like that idea as well. I'll think about it. I like it. You always have fantastic ideas to share. All right, what is this piece that we don't need? Another piece I don't need. No. I'm taking my time and actually labeling this because I know I'm going to use it in the future. I'll just call this butt. All right, looking pretty good. We have a chicken. It is done. Just kidding. I do want to add a little bit more detail to these feathers. Let's go ahead and add lazy mouse. That will just kind of like soften any shake in my hand. So it gives you a nice smoother curve. Again, you don't have to go crazy when detailing things. Just adding something goes a long way. There we go. Chicken. Bagak. Ah! We have an undetailed wing. There we go. Fixed. Cute. If she's a musketeer, do you plan on giving her a rapier sword tucked in her wing? Yeah, honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to handle this whole sword situation. Very much so lacking thumbs. We're going to figure it out. And then Monkey asks, is there a setting you can tell it how many quick saves to keep? Yes, sir. Go to Preferences, Quick Save. Here you go. Maximum duration, max quick save files, I have set to 200. It's a quieter day at the tavern, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and the chat is always fun. Alright, I know I'm going to have a version of this chicken without clothes, because this is just really nice. I didn't expect to have two versions here, but then it turns out I've never sculpted a chicken before. A lot of the heavy lifting was done by this fantastic base mesh from Rowena Frenzel. So, Rowena Frenzel, put that in the chat. Look her up, she's great. And just put my own kind of touches on it. Didn't change the proportions much, because she honestly nailed them. I'll just make sure that the clothing doesn't change the bird itself too much. That way I can actually just keep the pose. Maybe I'll make a custom pose for the Musketeer. I don't know. All I know is that right now it is time to figure out clothing for this bird. We're going to start with the hat because that is going to be probably one of the most important elements. First thing I'm going to do is duplicate this tail. And I'm going to grab the most plume feather-like feather. I might not keep any of these. We'll see. Because I want it to be a really nice feather. And this one's okay. Let's go ahead and change the shape a touch here. Let's see if I can get some detailing on this that I'm gonna like. If it's not gonna give me the result that I like quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and create one from scratch. Just adding some detail here with the damn standard brush. I forgot there's a backside. Don't worry about it. Again, not being super pressed about how clean or how perfect this looks. It's just about getting it done and a proof of concept. If I really like it and I think that the sloppiness of it is holding the design back, I'll just remake it more intentional. But this is kind of like, it's just like sketching with a pencil. You really just want to make sure that you are moving on. There we go. Cute. All right, let's start working on this hat. Oh, so silly. Hey, some new people. Moon is here. Hello, welcome in. Chicken. It is in fact a chicken. And then Brat Wombat. I think, yeah, you just subscribed today. Hi. You do everything so fast. I'm jealous. You're definitely a 3D artist. There's 2 people in the chat talk about my speed. One, like, wow, this takes forever. They don't do art. And then people like you that are like, what the heck? This is so fast. I'm like, ah, yes, a fellow artist. It just takes practice. And if you are kind of like locking up, just give yourself permission to make bad art. And I swear you will improve quicker and create quicker. It's like a twofer. So if you need a license to make some bad art, here's your license. Go make some bad art. I swear. It like will unlock something in your brain. All right, let's get this Musketeer hat shape going. It's more similar to a cowboy hat than I thought. I'm gonna click on auto groups and then split off each piece. No, we're gonna keep this one the same on top. I'm gonna use my smooth brush and just round this top off. Again, really taking my time because hats are sensitive. The only thing more sensitive than hats are shoes. Don't get me started on shoes. Because there needs to be structure, and again, it's on top of their head, you know, how hats tend to be. So if it looks wrong, it's gonna be especially noticeable. The taper is a bit funny because it's a chicken head, so I need this to be a little bit tighter. Again, because it's a hat for a chicken. This is where knowing the rules and how to bend them is very important. So it's like, what are the essential parts of the hat? Well, it needs to have a brim, it needs to have that band, and then the top part of it. So those 3 distinct elements need to have certain proportional relationships to each other, but everything else is up for debate, you know? And that's where the design can get pushed. I'm gonna hide the feather for now because that's just a secondary detail. Let's figure out this brim, because the brim is the Musketeer hat, right? Taylor says, speed comes from daily practice, not being intentionally quick, I suspect. No, it was painful. I was slow as heck, until I intentionally pushed myself to be faster. It's like I practiced being slow. Maybe that's not true for everyone, but like, I definitely practiced being slow until I was like, I would set a timer and not be like, oh, I'm gonna get this done in 15 minutes. All I did was, every project has certain phases, right? Like your block out, your detail, your posing, and then your cleanup. So I divided it into 4 different stages, and I would time myself how long it took me to get to each stage. And then it was very obvious. I would like take 80% of the time to do something very mundane, like pose prep. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut that section in half. So I'm taking 4 hours. I am gonna make sure I get it done in 2 hours. So I just focus on tightening up certain parts of my project at a time. And then eventually I got really fast. Hey, Canine's back. Welcome back. Canine says, this guy looks like he'd sell me some food and drink at my local tavern. Oh, I love it. Thank you. I love that we're all just digging the stupid chicken in a hat. Oh, you guys are so much fun. You're easy to entertain. Makes me happy because I am also easy to entertain. All right, so this hat needs to be flat on one side and curved on the other. How are we going to do that? I don't know. Yes, I do. I want to just rotate the entire thing and that I could have this section complete. But I want to make sure I'm not breaking any of those proportional relationships of the hat. That sounds really fancy. I'm just saying, like, you don't... If the top of the hat is larger than the brim, like this, that's not a hat. I already know it's wrong. That's what I mean. Like, that's like having certain relations to the hat makes sense. Same thing with like the band that's on at the bottom. That has to be a certain size to fit the top. Does that make more sense? I feel like that's a really crucial concept. All right, so I'm halfway correct on the hat now. Now I'm gonna use my mask lasso brush, try to get as close to the middle as I can. And now I'm gonna use my gizmo to kind of pull this shape. This is the only time I get really slow when it's a very sensitive shape here. I'm gonna make sure I crease the edge so I don't lose all of this hard work. Because right now, if I smooth, it kind of destroys the shape a little bit. See what I mean? And I don't want that to happen. So let's see if I crease these edges. That should help maintain the shape of it better. So I've creased them. See? Haha! That's a lot nicer. I'm essentially like modeling the hat, not sculpting it. Because I'm like moving individual vertices. We're getting fancier. It's happening. And then this top part really needs a curve on itself. Again, hats are so sensitive. I'm probably not going to get it right on the first go. Another like rule I'm breaking right now in a bad way is the top of this is a little too tall. I think it needs to be roughly on the same plane as the top of the hat. Yeah. I think it's going to be hard to make the chicken not look like a pilgrim. I'm going to give him like a cape and like really fancy sleeves. Trust me, he's going to look like he's got some coin to spin by the time that I'm done. Yeah, what did Canine say? Like he'd sell me some food and drink at my tavern. Yeah, he's going to look like that. It's going to look convincing. All right, I'm really going to bend that edge right here. Oh, this is so ridiculous. The hat is getting away from me a little bit. And don't be afraid if your model just like, or whatever you're working on, like, oh, that kind of sucks. I tried hard and it just didn't turn out great. That's okay. Just make a copy. I literally will hold Command S. And instead of naming this, oh, I haven't saved it all yet. So this is me, our chicken Musketeer, right? I literally will just make a duplicate of this file and just have one where I can try to like redo it again from scratch. So I'll delete the hat and just do it again. And I'll still have again the original copy in case I didn't do a good job and my first try was better. But that's not a bad technique to try. Hear me out. Boots on a chicken. Had not crossed my mind until you brought it up. Now that you brought it up, I feel like we need like a what is it, Puss in Boots kind of situation. I like it. Paint, I cannot do that. Oh, Empress is here. Empress, is that the first thing that you said? You didn't even say hi to me today. You just come in and say that ridiculous line. I won't even say that on stream. The peasants are here. Oh my god. I know Eloa is proud. That was a properly unhinged comment, Empress. I also encourage you to go more ridiculous on your shapes than less. Don't be timid. Don't mumble when you sculpt, is what I usually say. Yes, Empress says, I love that you taught me that early. Save a copy, but don't get attached. Exactly. And the Empress says, hi, hello, sorry, manners. Yeah, there we go. Eloa says, I'm not unhinged. Okay, Eloa, what word would you use to describe yourself? This is going to be great. Like, I'll play this game. I'll bite. I don't mind that's looking a little cowboy-esque, but we can't be too cowboy. Oop, that did not do what I wanted it to. Kind of. I mean, I didn't hate it. Again, so... Oh, we have a buckle on this. I completely forgot. All right, I'm going to use my ZModeler brush again to crease the edges of this little belt. So that way when I do use polish by features to clean up my shapes, it doesn't just obliterate everything. It's going to obliterate the buckle. It's fine. All right, I'm already spending a little bit too much time on the hat. I can come back to it. Just don't get stuck when you model. Make some progress. If you made 1% improvement, celebrate, move on. Come back to it later. That looks way more like a Musketeer hat than what we started with. All right, let's go ahead and mirror this. There's a little feather in his hat. Now, what color do I make this? Let's go with like a richer gold, maybe? I'm not really sure. Maybe like a muted brown. Oh, that's a really fun color. It's a little on the nose to have like this red hat. I don't mind it. I'm so glad that I didn't make this like a bird folk, like a kenku, you know? It's literally a chicken. That's a musketeer. Like, that's it. Empress says, I'm also finding that with learning 3D art for 3D printing first instead of for games, I'm loving the more is more, be dramatic approach. Everyone else is so tame and muted, it's like modern houses. Don't get me started on beige people and their beige houses with their beige clothes. Listen, if you just really like beige, that's awesome. Go be that beige person. But there's no way as many people have all this boring muted stuff. There's just no way. There's just no way that we're all like that identical. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying, Empress. I do. I had a beige friend growing up. And she was truly beige. And it was great. And she was super fun. And she loved to bake. And she loved to knit. And she was wonderful. She's not dead. I just don't talk anymore. I'm like, I'm talking about her like she's dead. She's not dead. Okay. I'm really going to make this chest dramatic because he is a puffed up chicken. He is a musketeer. I want some drama with these shapes. I don't know what I'm going to do with this little armhole. This was not in my training. Dressing a chicken? Didn't cover that one. I have no idea what to do with this little armhole. I'm going to not worry about it. And then all caps, we have Monkey saying purple and Paint saying we didn't need annoying neon green. Exactly. Purple and neon green. Yes, I love it. I'm closing up the armhole because I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do with it. So an actual chicken, the proportions are going to be a little bit different. So still want to be careful on, because I would like to have a normal barn chicken out of this too, because I actually don't have a chicken in my asset library currently. Again, I'm using that little technique I showed you guys earlier to really quickly iterate feathers. This is the scale brush. Just remember that just because something is called like scales in ZBrush, it doesn't mean you have to use it to create scales. Just look at what the shape is. I use it to make feathers. They look pretty darn good. And it's fast. My favorite. Bam. Here we go. Yeah, that's why I moved up the shoulder. Oh, no, we're not going to do chicken pants. No. We might do boots, though. I wasn't thinking about it until K9 mentioned it, and I'm like, Now I feel like he needs boots. Is Paint seriously giving me chicken clothing references? This is amazing. This is what I needed. Thank you, Paint. If you too want to be part of the reference process, this is in my Discord server. If you want to join, ask for a link. We're happy to invite you. There we go. My color scheme here is a little obnoxious and I don't mind it. Make him a hippie festival chicken. A whole series of chickens. Paint's just having fun now over here. Do you see this? Taylor says, I don't think it's so much about being identical when it comes to houses, but not wanting to stand out too much. Having a glow-in-the-dark rainbow house would be crazy awesome. Now for me, like, I think a lot of customization when it comes to like houses and even like clothing, to me, it's just a money thing. I am very frugal. So like, if I have clothes that fit, great. I'm not going to buy new clothes until they are a problem. So sometimes like my sense of style and fashion lags behind what I actually want by a few years at a time, because I'm like, I'm not going to buy clothes if I don't have to. Anyway, K9 says, what's funny is I had a game idea I was toying with making a while back called Ducks and Boots. No kidding. That's why the boots came to mind for me. This was your whole reason for finding my streams, to leave that specific comment. Amazing. Ooh, we have a biker chicken. I like it. All right, let's detail this belt. To do that, I'm going to use the Z modeler brush, and it's really quick. I'm going to go to Insert Single Edge Loop, put one at the top, one at the bottom. We're going to extrude the poly loops that we just inserted. Boop, boop. That's it. Already looks much better. It would look even better with a buckle, and there's a default buckle in ZBrush, B for the brush palette, I Clothings, and we'll go with this big one, this big buckle thing. Split mask points. I like to inflate it because, one, it kind of stands off the model a little bit better, and then also because this is all for 3D printing, it just makes my life a little easier. All right, get it nice and positioned. And then I don't think Corey's here anymore because Corey had to building a shelf with their dad, but we have decided as of yesterday that it must have the little flappy thing, which is the bit of the extra bit of the belt. To create that, I'm gonna hold Command-Shift-D to duplicate this belt. Use the mask lasso to kind of grab a section here, and then isolate it. Close holes, polish by features. Ooh, no, not polish by features. Just kidding. I need to crease this first. Otherwise, when I do that crease, or polish by features, it like rounds it off in a very ugly way. You can use just a crease brush. It usually does a decent job. Sweet, I did a good job. Again, I'm gonna mask a little section, delete. There we go. We now have this little extra section, and I swear it just makes your belts look so much better. Take the time. Some secondary shapes aren't worth it. This is worth it. There you go. Ooh, I can have the sword tucked into the belt on the side. We're not going to worry about how in the world this chicken wields the sword. I will worry about that when I pose, perhaps. Or perhaps I won't. Do I have a rapier or something of the like? Yeah, this is decent. I swear I made a better one recently. This is good for now. This is going to be a good placeholder. And in a moment here, I'm going to show you guys how to detail clothing really quickly. Let's go with a brown handle. Just something real simple. Gonna have it tucked somewhat near the wing. These are questions I don't have the answer to. Like, how is this chicken gonna wield the sword? I don't know. Kate says, I was just thinking about the sword fighting with the chicken. Beautiful. Absolutely, Eloa. Move, back face mask. Very easy chunkifying. Empress says, excuse me, Miss 3D Artist, you need to model the buckle from scratch. Please stop breaking the perceived societal art rules. That's all we do here, though. Why did the chicken cross the road, monkey? Oh my gosh, putting the rapier in its beak. That's hysterical. I wasn't even thinking of that. Wow, I was not going to do that. But that's hysterical. We are probably going to do that. Oh my goodness. And the way that the handle is right now, it makes it look like he has a little mustache. I'll need to make it a little bit smaller. All right, that's... Y'all, I love this. Gonna make this a little bit longer and more of a curve. Yeah, check you guys out. Eloa just said that too. Perfect. You guys are on the same page. The hive mind is hive minding. Canine says congrats on the Kickstarter, by the way. I just saw it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, ever since I've started streaming, it was probably one of the best launches I've ever had. And that's why actually I have the $1 tier on the Kickstarter project, because I know a lot of you guys don't have 3D printers or maybe money. Hey, I get it. So that's why it's like you could be part of it without having to spend like the full $30. So yeah, huge shout out again to all of you guys that watch my streams and back the Kickstarter at all, especially at the $1 tier though, because I designed that for y'all. Yeah. Thank you, Canine. No turkey leg. Oh no. Monkey's now got Taylor agreeing as well. No. Monkey says, is it finished? The Kickstarter or... Okay, yeah, the model. The model's not finished, and the Kickstarter's also not finished. Kickstarter's a couple days left. I still need to shout out your project. Which I know isn't live yet, but still. I keep forgetting to remind Ricky to do it. Because I don't do the updates my husband does. There we go. I think I'm gonna make like a dramatic puffy sleeve here. Hey, Dragon's here. Welcome back. Chicken. Yeah, it's chicken. On today's episode of Why I Love My Job. Making some good progress on this. I feel like this time just flew by too. Oh my goodness. I'm like, how's the Tavern Keeper's Craft almost over? The lag is glorious. Yes, Monkey, the Kickstarter is not over yet. Almost, but not yet. I bet you're gonna look it up before you see me answer anyway. Yep. Hoping your final 40 hours goes well. Thank you. And thank you for offering to share my project and stuff too. I really appreciate that. So I'm making the shoulders a bit more broad on this character, and it's little things like this that are going to make it look not just like your typical barnyard chicken. That's just so silly. I love it. Oh gosh. I'm not loving the color scheme. I think I want to do more of like a deep blue instead. Hey, Foxy's here. Welcome in, Foxy. We're making a chicken. No, he is not for eating. He is a defender of something. The color scheme's getting away from me a little bit, but I'm having fun. I knew I'd want this little trim piece. It's coming in handy. Make him purple. Purple, no. I mean, purple is fine, but no to the rest of that. Can we have a little batch of golden eggs he is guarding? Of course. That'd be really easy. We can just take this, round it off a little bit, and then we'll make it a bright gold. There we go. Some golden eggs for protection. For protecting. There we go. That's a better shape. I do want a detail of some sort on this belt. I just haven't decided what. Oop, my screen is black. There we go. All right, let's add some fabric folds here. We need some more details. And I actually might just think of how detailed I want this to be. Eloa, it doesn't matter what you say. Monkey knows the truth of this model. It's got some decorative trim brushes. I have quite a few. I should grab this one and hope that it's fitting. Monkey says 0 for 2 on suggestions today, folks. Hey, I have put turkey legs on my models in the past, per your request. It has happened before. And also, to be fair, you ask for a turkey leg on every model that I make. But you're right, making this purple would not be a big deal. I just don't know if that's very Musketeer colors. But just for a moment. Okay, it does look really good, actually. All right, we're doing it. Monkey's right. That looks fantastic. I'm like, if I'm not gonna do the turkey leg, I gotta at least do this for you. There we go. Add some little stripes. Hey, Ricky's here. Chicken. Yeah. Foxy has turned to the dark side. What happened? Cake. Oh my goodness, that is a shocking request from Foxy. All right, so for fabric folds, I'm simply going to use the standard brush. And just look at this model and see anywhere where there would be tension or compression. So definitely around this little belt. Imagine he's a bit of a plump chicken. Or is this a hen? You know, I'm not really even sure anymore. No, it doesn't look very good. Make sure that your base shapes are correct before you detail too much. There we go. And then the size of your fabric folds and how deep they are and how many they are will help convey like the texture of the material. Like always, when you're going across the center line, just turn off symmetry. When you see me looking up, I'm actually watching my own stream so I can see my face. Hi, me. It's because when I look at my model on a different screen and like a different aspect ratio, it's kind of like a refresher almost. I also am a more is more person when it comes to fabric folds. I over fabric fold, and I am not sorry. Ricky is just putting me in all caps. Yes, honey, what do you need? Turkey leg. Oh my god. Alright, you somehow have also gotten my husband involved in this. Well, add the stupid turkey leg. Goodness, goodness. Revolting peasants. I mean, not here discussing, like, peasants are revolting. Oh, I called you guys something mean. Whoops. It's okay, I'm adding the turkey leg. I think I have it exported from before, too. If I search turkey, leg should come up. It didn't. Is it already in my asset library? Do you see what I do for you guys? You see this? Cat monkey. You see, Ricky knows. I don't know how you guys got him in on this. But here we are. I didn't put under weapons, did I? Did I really not save it? I don't want to sculpt it again. Even though it's not difficult. It's happening though. I will do it. Doesn't mean I'm going to keep it for the final model. Alright, I'll just sculpt it. I could have already sculpted it in time, it took me to look. Alright, we're going to make a turkey leg really fast. Step 1, append a sphere. Step 2, make it brown. Start shaping the top part of it. Kind of like this. And then the bottom, kind of make it like a little rough. That's where the bone's going to connect. There. Rotate that. There we go. Next up, we're going to have the bone that sticks out of it. Mirror and weld, make sure it's all nice and centered. It is. It's happening, monkey. On stream. And then last but not least, it has like those two like little spots where like the bone connects. There we go. Turkey leg. Is it perfect? No, but it now exists. I don't even know where you wanted me to put it. I think you guys wanted it on the belt. Okay, it does look kind of awesome, not gonna lie. I feel like it needs to be right side up to be recognizable. Monkey is happy. That's all that matters, right? Can we have a little leg tag they use to identify or sort chickens? It can act as a sign of revolting against the higher powers and also be a cool bandana for the bandit/musketeer theme. I actually really like that idea. That or, whatchamacallit? Boots. The little leg band's a really good idea and really easy. So I just appended a ring. I'm gonna make it red so it stands out. There we go. So there's that little leg band, but I like the idea of it being more bandana-like. So I'm going to duplicate this and use my move brush and pull a couple shapes off of this. But first, I'm going to mask a little section here. There we go. This reminds me of when we did that slug miner. And okay, the slug I didn't expect to be a very good model. I didn't really have a vision for it at all. And you guys just made it super fun. This I knew was going to be a fun model, but I will say I underestimated just how creative and fun you guys would be about it. I should know better by now. There we go. It is annoying when like the 3D gizmo is so gigantic. I'm trying to like see the shape underneath it. Here we go. Cute. Eloa says, Mia, it looks like he has literally killed and cooked his enemies into a chicken wing. Yeah, it's like chickens versus turkeys. I don't know. Is that a thing? Oh my goodness. All right. You guys got what you wanted, so we can move on now, I think. Add some fabric folds to the sleeve here. I'm also going to save because it's been a hot minute and this came together really quickly. Monkey says, I went from O to 2 for 2 to O. I'm done for the day, folks. I'm a happy human, very human. Yes, Monkey. I mean, again, usually I'm like, okay, ha ha ha, just turkey leg. But since we're sculpting a chicken today, I feel like it's especially fit. And then you rallied so many peasants to your side. I was like, you even got my husband to agree with you. So I was like, all right, fine. And you know what? I think I might leave it for the final model. It might make the cut. Oh, I have this ornament brush I want to use. Oh, I have an idea. One last bit of detail I can add here to make him look really fancy. Yes. There we go. How nice is that? Very Musketeer-esque. He's beautiful. And a reminder, if you guys have any creative, cool ideas for me to sculpt, this is literally my job. This is literally what I do. Go check out the description or in the chat, because I'm sure Eloa will link it. But if you support me on Patreon on the Legendary tier, you can submit a request every single month. And I accept all requests, and then I sculpt them in order. If you request something really lame that's already been created, like I want Darth Vader, I'm going to say no. But if you ask for like a chicken musketeer, oh, it's a heck yeah. Because tabletop fits so many different like themes and genres and styles, like I pretty much accept everything. That's why I've done so many different kinds of collections over the years. I've done steampunk, Vikings, Greek mythology, Japanese mythology. I just recently finished I have a Kickstarter live right now. It's like Mastersmith Collection, which has a little bit of everything. It's a pretty cool job, I do say so myself. When I was a kid and they told you like when you grow up you can be anything, I took it pretty literally. I was like, okay, I want to sculpt models for a living. Make cool requests. Where is that buckle? There it is. Mirror. Yeah, I don't know about this little cape I initially planned for the chicken to have. Now I think it's just a little too much. So we're going to reduce and simplify. Thank you, Eloa. Ooh, that's a fancy stitch. Let's see if I can get that looking better. It's a little... Oh no, it's kind of cool. It kind of looks pleated. So I'm starting to add like tertiary details here, so like really fine details. But I don't want it to be too noisy. There we go. I like that. Looks kind of like it's padded almost. It's a little detail heavy. It's the only thing that I'm kind of like, eh. If I increase the focal shift, maybe we can get like a cleaner result. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. Be very careful in adding details like this because your model can get very noisy very quickly. So I'm going to do a mask, make sure I have a very tight area. There we go. I'm going to click at the top, hold down shift and drag it. That'll have a straight line. Looks pretty good. I like this because it looks kind of like a cravat. So I'm going to kind of bring the edges of this out a touch. But I don't want to lose the definition of the collar either. Just make sure when you're adding details like this, they're intentional. That's the big thing. There we go. I wanted just something else is a little more dense. Still got some fixing to do with the hat, but that was pretty good. So today's Tavern Keeper's Craft, we worked with this just chicken base mesh, did a little kit bashing, and this is where we are currently. All that was done on stream. So if you have any questions on like, wait, how did you detail this or do that? You can rewind or ask me right now before I go on break. I do teach, so do not feel shy about asking questions. No question is too basic. I guarantee I've heard your question before. If I didn't like repeating myself, I would not teach. Just add a really basic stitch. There we go, that's nice. And then maybe I will continue that yes on the sides here. I cannot believe how detailed this model turned out. It's ridiculous. It did not need to go this hard. I don't know. I was telling you guys, I'm feeling very creatively charged and just having a good time. Wow. He's awesome. I might have to send a picture of this to my dad. My dad loves dumb shit like this. Awesome. Monkey says, how large do you make your final files? Do you decimate before you're ready to 3D print? Yes. See, there's a normal question. Yeah, that's a very good one. I decimate to around 200,000 points. But you can go lower. Jargon says, I made horchata yesterday. Oh, no kidding. My housemate made it yesterday too. Or 2 days ago, but still. Very cool. Oh, that coffee was cold. Gross. Okay. Water. Monkey said, I made a goblin yesterday. It turned out okay. I might tweak it. Honestly, it's pretty cartoony for my style. That's okay to have like some models that kind of deviate to different extremes within your own style. You don't have to be locked in. It's just realistic or semi-realistic all the time. I'm gonna add a little bit of texture to this. Not a lot, just so it doesn't look so perfectly smooth. Just anything. There we go. It's a little something. Weird fact about Monkey, I like cold coffee. Like when it's an iced coffee and it's intentional, I understand that, but I was expecting that to be hot and it was not. Well, that was fun. That was really fun. I'm going to fluff up the tail a little bit just to make for a more interesting silhouette. Nope. Oh, iced coffee is too cold. You like hot coffee that has cooled off. That is weird. That is a fun fact about Monkey. I am the opposite of that. I hate that. Iced coffee too cold. I don't know why that's so funny. I think Eloa's right. We might have just hit peak character design with this. I love that I didn't make this a chicken like Bird Folk. Hey, new sub. Thank you, Tango. Ember says, getting to see Mia play with a chicken on stream, one would think it should be premium content, but we get it for free. You guys are so easy to make happy. I love it. Beautiful. All right, let's see. Paint says, I'd love to write a book or module for some of the models you make or others make. I love writing monster and flavor text for weird and not normal types of monsters and creatures. Anytime. I would also love that. I've paid people to do that before in the past. I'm not promising anything right now, but I will keep you in mind because you have made a lot of good work, Paint. Alrighty. That was a pretty good start to the stream. I guess the stream's almost over. I don't know, I feel like it went by so fast. Goodness. Well, before I go on break, I'm going to open this up to any questions. Anything you guys need to know about? Either, I don't know. Art. I don't know. You guys always have questions, I feel like. Maybe related to some projects that you're working on or of the like. I feel like no one's asked me a really hard-hitting question today. Usually I have one person that asks me something that's really open-ended and difficult to answer. Not unanswerable, just genuinely like, oh, that is tricky. Oh my goodness. I was going through my DMs for students this morning and Rat Girl asked me a bunch of really awesome questions and I don't know if they're lurking right now, but I always feel bad sometimes. Like I'm very dry, like when I type especially, and I just like I answer each one of their questions, and I'm like, no, yes, like I'm very clear. And then for one of their questions, I'm like, this is not an answerable question. I just moved on. I just want you guys to know if you guys ever ask me questions in a DM, and it feels like I'm responding, and it seems harsh or dry. That's just how I sound over text. Like, I don't think your questions are stupid. When I say like it's not an answerable question, it usually means it's too open-ended. Where I'm just like how do I learn anatomy? I'm like, again, I always roll my eyes. It's the equivalent of like, I want to learn math. I'm like, okay, calculus, trigonometry. I can keep going. Like there's a ton of what does that mean? You know, it's a very open-ended question, but I know what you guys mean. Anyway, especially when you start mixing in business aspects to it, it gets very complicated and very niche. And the answer to everything just becomes, it depends, which isn't a great answer. So I usually push you guys to take vague questions and then break them down to very specific questions, but numerous. Win-win for everyone. Hey, Cody's here. Hello, you are new. Yeah, let's see. Cody Codeman Carother. I didn't say the last one right. I'm going to call you Cody. How long have you been using ZBrush? I'm new here. I've been using ZBrush for 6 years. Also, yeah, welcome. I'm about to go on break right now, but I'm happy to answer some questions before I go on break. When I come back, we're going to start happy hour, which is specifically designed for answering questions for my students or the like. You don't have to be in my mentorship program to ask questions. Monkey says, hard question for the day. How do you Reddit? Like me specifically, how I use Reddit, because it's mostly just me following a bunch of video games I'm currently playing and for news and stuff. But as far as like marketing your art on Reddit, you just can't be like a blowhard. Like you can't just like advertise your stuff and expect people to not just ignore you. Like my most successful posts on Reddit are always providing some sort of like legitimate value. So if I am advertising my Kickstarter, which I did, I'm selling FDM compatible minis. So that's kind of niche. That's kind of unique. So I didn't like just, hey, here's my FDM minis. Like I shared my settings that got good results on my 3D printer. And like that does a lot better. It's difficult. If Redditors smell the like dishonest stink of you trying to make money, they just devour you alive. As they should, you know what I mean? Because it's really not that kind of platform. It's tricky. Cody says, nice, very impressive. Thank you. I love what I do. I really do. So yeah, I started using ZBrush 6 years ago, and then I took it full time like 5 years ago. Essentially, I got my bachelor's in mechanical engineering in 2019. And then as we all know, the pandemic happened. So no one was being hired for anything. A lot of my friends that just got hired out of college immediately got laid off. So I was like, well, my husband's working like at a tire shop. And I started doing like commissions and 3D arts for fun on the side. And I had a comment in my paycheck and he didn't. And I was like, okay. He was like, this is actually making money. I'm like, yeah, it is. But it was never like a secret dream of mine to take art full time, even though I'm very grateful to do so. It's just, it worked out. Again, the pandemic hit. I wasn't getting a normal job anyway. So I've put all my time into this since then. And it's still going. As of now, my husband and I are saving up to buy a house. It's very exciting. We haven't started house shopping yet because you need like literal tens of thousands of dollars to buy a house. We're on our way, but like it's a lot of money, especially when you're self-employed. You can be like, hey, look, I make money. And they're like, that's cute. We don't believe you. I'm like, okay, here's like all my tax things. Like, please let me buy a house. It's very stressful. But anyway, hey, you subscribed. Thank you. Anyway, a little bit of existential dread there. Alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna go on break. And just because I have a lot of new people watching right now. Hi, my name is Mia, and I make 3D printable models for tabletop games for a living. That's what we do here. I stream pretty much every single day around noon Eastern time. So yes, if you gotta run or whatever, you can come back any other day, and I'm probably gonna be streaming. All right, I'll see you guys in about 15 to 20 minutes, and then it'll be happy hour. So grab a drink, grab a snack. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey y'all, welcome back. Alrighty, this begins happy hour. This is a time for me to answer questions from my students, and if you were not in a mentorship program and you want to learn how to sculpt, you should look at it. But if not, you can also ask general questions about art, how I do things, how I started doing this, all that kind of stuff. It's really just like a more laid back part of the stream. It's a little more flexible. I already got my work done for the day. This lovely chicken musketeer. So, I'm flexible. Hey, Volt's here. Welcome back. And just single. Dragon says, you think Mia wants to move to Texas? I do have family there. Because I can try to sell her a house. Oh, are you a realtor? How fun. I really like East Tennessee, but... Hey, Mia, do you want to buy my parents' house? I don't know. How much land do they have? I want a lot of dirt. That's my thing. Alrighty. Also trying to think what pose I want for this chicken. I want to pose the normal chicken too, so we'll get quite a few models out of this. Love to see it. I love it, because Dragon, that's technically a question. That is a question. Monkey says, come to Charleston. Dude, Charleston seems awesome. Like, seriously. Isn't it a bit more expensive place to live, though? Just Single says, Mia, have you made any models sitting or with crossed legs? I have. Not many, but yes. Around 6.5. That's not bad. That's an acceptable amount of dirt. It's like Tennessee, but with better food and beach. This is true. I cannot disagree with that. It's also more expensive. Can we do an on guard pose with the sword? We could. And yeah, Dragon, the odds of me buying your parents' house are like 0. But, I don't know. Send it to me. We don't, again, why not? I'll look at it. I give the odds 1%. But how funny would that be? You know, small world kind of stuff. I love that. You know, when I was first making the jump from taking Patreon full time, again, everyone in my community knew that I was graduating the engineering degree. I had someone reach out to me. They were actually a recruiter for Raytheon, which is like a defense big corporation. They're contracted by the government. Anyway, but they legit were just like, do you want a job? Because like I can do that. And I was like, oh my god, maybe. But I didn't end up doing it because I didn't go into industry with engineering. But wouldn't it be the first time? Dragon says, I figured all the way out. I doubt you want to move cross country. I mean, I did it once. Like this. Oh, that is so cute. Yeah, I can like tuck it under the wing. I do like that. This. Yeah, I like it. Very cute. These streams are feeling faster and faster. How have we already been doing this for 2 hours? That shocks me. I'm gonna reset my playlist. The soundtrack for the video game Spirit Tea is so crazy good. Like, I listen to it all the time. And Just Single mentioned Raytheon is on if the main job supply around here. Oh, no kidding. Dragon says, well, I'll send you the listing when it's fixed up for the meme, if nothing else. Right? I love it. Oh my gosh, it's dueling style. It's one on the beak and one on the wing. That would be even funnier. Dual wielding chicken. Love it. Put the playlist in the chat. I should. I don't have Spotify on my computer. I have a phone. What am I doing? I will. All right, I found the link. Opening Discord. And I'm going to put it under Livestream Hub. I didn't copy the link. Come on, phone. You can do it. There we go. It wants me to click copy twice. wants me to be really sure about it. There we go. Yeah, so this is what I'm listening to right now. It is seriously so good and so mellow. I really encourage you guys to click on this like now. Like this is what I listen to when I work 90% of the time. All of it's great. And there's like, again, how many original tracks? 47 for like a pretty small indie developer game too. Speaking of, the game is fantastic as well. If you like Spirited Away at all, and like the idea of bringing a little bathhouse for spirits, that's literally what you do. Yeah, look at it. Yay, thank you. Any other questions? This has been great. Oh, do I have any student DMs? I don't. This is wild. Pin? I might as well. Just for this week anyway. That way you guys can grab it easier later. Why am I holding my shoulder like this? All right, if there's no other questions, I'm going to continue working here. You can put at M3DM and I'll put my name like in bright orange on my side so it's easier for me to see. But if not, kick back, enjoy the vibes, and I'm gonna keep on sculpting. This chicken is pretty much done, so I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. I'm just gonna let it be a thing. I'm gonna let it finish. I'm saying that out loud because I kind of want to fuss with this hat a little bit. You know how it is. Like, oh, maybe I can make this look a little bit better, a little bit more intentional. And it's like, don't lose greatness in the pursuit of perfection. I don't know where that quote's from, but it's definitely not from me. And bevel that a little bit, just so it looks a little more intentional. There we go. Okay, I think I improved the hat a little bit with that little bit of modeling there. I'm gonna move on. I really appreciate that you guys show interest in like the music I listen to and the books I'm talking about. Like whether or not you actually end up like reading the books I talk about or whatever. I don't know. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I don't take your guys' time for granted. Speaking of, it's a phrase I say a lot now, like when I'm playing video games. It's how I quantify whether it's good or not, whether or not the game like respects my time. And to be clear, I love grindy video games. I truly do. So I'm not necessarily against that. But like, I don't know. Some games are just boring and needlessly like grindy, and you're not even grinding for anything. I know y'all know what I mean. There's a difference. There we go. I forgot to have a bit of continuity there for the belt. Let's get this tidied up and let's get a pose going. It's been a quieter stream, but a lovely one at that. I hope you guys are having a nice Tuesday. I know the summer heat is starting to really kick in a lot of places, and it just like melts some of y'all. So this is a model that Ricky will not need to pose. I feel no need to rig the chicken. We're just going to pose it ourselves. Yes, Eloa mentioned, yes, respecting your time is the first thing I mentioned with Expedition 33. Exactly. Speaking of, I'm about ready to play that game again. Took a break for about a week or so. I don't know, I make progress in that game, makes me cry, I take a break. Make some progress, I cry, I take a break. That's kind of the rhythm of it right now. I'm super picky with Expedition 33 too. Like, I refuse to play that game if I'm in anything other than like a perfectly like open, receptive mindset, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm so far from the end, and I'm already like dreading it and like defensive about it. I don't know. Expedition 33 is truly just such a good game. I cannot stress that enough. I don't normally worry about finishing games while I'm playing them. Like, it's not that, I mean, like, I don't worry about them ending, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm definitely doing that with Expedition. I'm like, good video games shouldn't last forever, and I know that, but it's so good. If you're on the fence about playing Expedition 33 and you're like, it can't possibly be worth all the hype, it is. You should play it. Why aren't you playing it? Hey, John's here. You are new. Welcome, John Davis. Hello, newbie ZBrusher here. You're very welcome to be here then. We have lots of people that are just learning ZBrush here. Love your work. Aw, thank you. If you have any questions, let me know. We're in happy hour right now, which is kind of like a more casual part of my stream that I do every day. It's meant for questions. Justingle says, the internal temp of my car reached 180 before killing the food thermometer. I used to test the air temp. Oh my god. That's horrible. Where do you live? So I cannot live there. I mean, I used to live somewhere that was really, really hot too, so I'm no stranger to that. Taylor mentions me, and melting is no joke. I need to fix my air conditioning. I shave my head because it's unbearable. That's commitment. I like it. It's such like a simple, sweet comment, but when people tell me they love my work, I don't know. It's a compliment, so obviously it feels good, but it just sounds so like fancy, like, ooh, I love your work. And I'm like, ah, yes, my work. But like, obviously, I've made over 1,000 models. I, in fact, do have a body of work, but I don't know. It doesn't get old. Dragon says, I never finished turn-based RPGs. You gotta. So you've never finished Baldur's Gate 3 either? You gotta. You gotta. This does not need to be 2 million polys, and I don't think I'm going to be posing this in such an elaborate way that I'm going to need a resolution. Ah, yes, Arizona. Arizona, so nobody's surprised about the heat. I've spent a lot of time in Arizona. A lot of my family is from there, specifically Phoenix. Hence how I know people Jared knows. Oh, that's right. Oh, how funny. Small world. I love that. Dragon says, I haven't made it out of the first chapter in over 3 months. What? Is it because like the turn-basedness of it gets like too tedious, or because you can just like drop the difficulty a ton, just like get through it? But it is fun, or maybe the opposite. Maybe you need to turn the difficulty up so it's a little more engaging. I think it's just the coolest thing. Like, can we just have like a 10,000 foot view here? I'm a girl, just sitting in a room in a house in East Tennessee, sculpting a chicken musketeer. We've got people from all over the world hanging out in the chat and talking about weather. Like, it's just the funniest thing. I don't know. There's no way in a million years I could have guessed this is what I was going to be doing. Well, like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Even if I knew, like, this is what I wanted, Anyway, crazy moment. Hey, Sean's here. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Everybody needs a Jared or two in their life. I have never met a bad Jared. I know 3, and they are all spectacular. Like, true, not like good people, like great people. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, Dragon says, I guess it just isn't interesting to actually fight. And they're talking about playing like turn-based RPGs, especially like Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, when you increase the difficulty, it makes your builds feel a lot more intentional. And like, there's so much complexity in the way that you can build your character. It's super worth it. You can also try venturing out without a full party. I mean, you kind of miss some of the banter, but it would also make it more difficult. Oh, this is a joke that I am too daft to get right now. Just Single says the chicken is 28 millimeter scale, right? So you're printing this as 123 millimeter? 123? What does 123 have to do with chickens? Easy as 123? I don't get the joke. I don't get it. Monkey's laughing. Someone gets it. I'm just gonna sculpt my chicken. Not worry about it. I'm worrying about it. So I'm starting to combine different pieces of the head together because I'm going to get ready for posing very soon here. I don't pose very often on stream because all of my characters I rig so I can do multiple poses with them. But for creatures like this, it's just easier to do it by hand. And I'm going to do that in Transpose Master, so pay attention and you will see something cool happen. Posing trips up a lot of my students. And there's really nothing better than just practicing. I know that's kind of a lame answer, but you're gonna have to make a lot of mistakes with posing before you get good at it. It's just the way of things. Because not only do you have to understand your program, you also have to understand how things actually move. It's very demanding. I want you to joke the chicken is 26.3 feet tall. Oh, gotcha. Monkey says, my friend Jared is awesome, but he's not a good person. I think all my friends right now are good people. I definitely didn't always have friends that were good people. I mean, they're good to me, but I'm like, I've gotten pickier as I've gotten older. John says, I have a newbie question. How did you start with ZBrush? Just dove in, tutorials, or did you take classes? I pretty much just dove in. So I messed around in Sculptress, which is a free software way back from Pixelogic, which is who made ZBrush before Maxon bought them. Anyway, I really hated school. I was getting my degree in mechanical engineering, and I hated it. So, I mean, like engineering, I just hate school. Does that make sense? I'm a great student, big brain. I was on a full-rate scholarship. I just hate school. Anyway, and so it was kind of like a fun distraction because I've always loved fantasy and video games and stuff like that. And then I started taking requests and kind of took off from there. But I'm completely self-taught. Not by my own volition. It's because I didn't like a lot of the resources I found online. It'd be like an hour tutorial to show you how to do something really basic, and they just so many tangents, and it was so hard to follow. And that's actually why I teach. That's why. So all my mentorship program is one-on-one, and that's why, because I feel like each person has a very different way of learning and different questions. And it's so much easier to be like, send me a DM and be like, how do you do this? And I'm like, it's just this. It's just one button. Because it's so hard to ask Google these like very niche specific questions. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just Single says, my math/scale jokes aren't as funny as I think they should be. No, they're funny. I'm just slow. And the monkey talked about the friend Jared, like, he's just an a-hole. Still good people. He's just rude. Yeah. I get you. I know people that I adore that are just rude. My favorite is like I'm not rude, I'm just honest. I'm like, ooh, I don't love that for you. I'm honest and tactful. It can be done. I care enough about people's feelings to say things in a way that is non-a-holy. Though I will say, some people, there's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter how you tell them stuff. If it's not what they want to hear, they're gonna like lose their mind over it. But I also just make sure to not hang out with people like that either. It's not fun to be friends with people that you have to tiptoe around either. So I get that. Man, we're covering all kinds of topics today. I like it. I feel like we generally have topics that we revisit on stream, but surprisingly unique day to day. Payne says, I call those people something that rhymes with punt. So do I. And at some point, I was like edgy and rude for the sake of being rude. But I was also like 15 and in high school. Like I outgrew it, you know? I don't know how I want this weird little turkey leg to stick to this character. I duplicated the belt to try and create like a little band around it. I don't like it. I'm not going to worry about it until I pose. This is a great quote. Just Lingual, I would say this quote more often if I could remember it all. Thankfully, you've shared it. The quote is, honesty without kindness is brutality, and kindness without honesty is manipulation. Beautiful. Dragon says, should we go back to tea and cooking shows again, Mia? You can. That was a good time. And to be clear, I wouldn't mind if we like retread topics more often. I just think it's interesting that we don't. I'm definitely keeping the eggs on the base. That's so fun. John says, thanks. It's been tough starting out. Yeah, I don't even mean ZBrush or school. School is horrible. Sorry if you're in school. But as far as ZBrush goes, yeah, no, it's super frustrating. Like, again, if you have the money to spare, and if you at all like jive with the way that I talk, I would love to teach you. At least just join my mentorship for the first month. It's $30 a month. It's only $1 a day. I can get you through all those fundamentals because the beginning feels a lot like banging your head against a wall. And it just doesn't have to be that way. Just Lingle says, if anyone comes to Arizona, I'll cook them Thai food. I might take you up on that. Because like so much of art and what's difficult about it shouldn't be fighting your software. It should just be like the normal stuff, like fighting perfectionism, like what's it makes a good silhouette, how to like actually achieve certain details like sculpting hair, fur, or like notoriously challenging, that kind of stuff. That's what you want to spend your time really thinking about, not like banging your head against the wall figuring out how to save your file. Because fun fact, if you click document and save as, you did not save your 3D model. You saved a picture of it. And if you don't go to file save as, that means you lost your work. It is gone. Unless you have quick saves enabled, which are under Lightbox quick save. It's not intuitive, but it's such a powerful and cool software. It's very worth learning. I might just combine this to the belt right now. All right, we're gonna get to posing very soon here. I'm just kind of checking my bases. I'm gonna save a copy of this because we're gonna have a normal chicken and then a chicken musketeer, which of course will have very different poses for obvious reasons. Dragon says, if I do, I'll make Tex-Mex. I love that you guys all know like the food you'd want to make for each other. It's very, very wholesome. Speaking of, the Mexican food in Tennessee is predictably terrible. So awful. I'm very spoiled because I grew up in the Valley in California, so like I'm used to good Mexican food. That's probably one of the hardest things about moving here. I know it's so silly because it's just food, but I don't know. Food's powerful, you know? All right, let's get this posed. So to do this, we're going to go to Transpose Master, which is under Z plugin. Click on T-Pose Mesh. It's very confusing. You have T-Pose Mesh and T-Pose Sub-T. Sounds like nonsense. Just think of this button right here as begin and the one next to it as end. That's all you need to know. Paint says, I would make some Irish soups and some potato dishes. Yeah, if I had to cook for you guys, what would I make you guys? I'm really good at baking. I make a really mean banana bread, but that's not a whole meal. Not that attitude. I make a really good potato soup, like probably the best potato soup you've ever had. Funny flex, but like I feel very strongly about this. Yeah, I'll probably do a soup as well. The monkey says, if someone came to visit me, I would cook ramen. Hey, to be fair, that can actually be really fancy and really elaborate, depending. All right, so I'm gonna turn off perspective so the feet are flat, because again, I designed these to be on, like they're miniatures. So this is for 3D printing. So I always wanna offer a no base version, so they wanna put their own base on it. So if the feet aren't flat, that makes it quite difficult to do that. John says, I will do that. Where do I go to get that info? There is a link in the description, but here, let me go ahead and ping you, and then this link should populate my bot is behaving. I have two different Patreons. I have one that's like my free printable models, and the other one that's just for hosting payment. If you did join the mentorship program, we would be speaking in a DM on Discord primarily. The payment's just handled through Patreon to keep it simple. Depending how quickly you learn, I pretty much can get my students through all the fundamentals within a month, pretty conservatively. Just Lingual has a funny story. Just Lingual says, the best taco, and it's a capital T on taco, which again, Just Lingual is actually very grammatically correct, so this is serious. This is capital T taco. The best taco I ever had was at an unnamed gas station, literally unnamed, that no one went to gas for, and everyone only went there for street tacos inside the building attached to somewhere in DFW. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Ataka said, I'd either cook something complicated never done before. That's bold. I love that. Because I have a reason to. Or something complicated I can do good. That's very cool. I would never cook something brand new when serving people because I would be too nervous. But I like your attitude better. I'm trying to become more like that. Fun, some would say. You know, it's funny because I am a 3D artist and a freelancer, but I am not what you would call a risk taker, believe it or not. I don't know how to pose his funny little legs. This is hysterical. Oh, I didn't say what I was doing. I'm so sorry. So I am in Transpose Master. So it takes all your subtools and puts them into one piece. Why does that matter? Because that means I can use my masking brush and I can just like grab pieces and move the whole thing at once instead of individual pieces. It's very powerful. So essentially, I'm just going to grab individual sections here as I need. And now I can move just that arm. This isn't the only way of posing in ZBrush, it's just a powerful way of doing so. Just Lingual says, I literally still dream about that taco. Again, capital T taco. I love that. Oh my god. Please tell me why this bird is just so awesome. Listen, I wasn't even feeling burned out from art, but if I was, this would have healed me a little bit. It's one of those kind of models. You know, I guess I'd make you guys breakfast. I can make a really mean breakfast. I think that's like one of the best opinions or not first impressions, but I gained a lot of points with Ricky's family because for Christmas Eve 2 years in a row right before we moved across the country, I did a big like Christmas breakfast for everyone. So I just like unlimited eggs, toast, bacon, that kind of stuff. And like I make a good fried egg. Sounds silly, but like I've cooked a lot of eggs, so I'm really good at it. I remember this is like when Ricky and I like just moved in together. And again, it's like we're young, we're like in our early 20s, and I'm like living with this man that I love. We're like married at the time, but again, I guess we're still like that impressing each other phase, if that makes sense. And Ricky hates if any of like the whites on the eggs are uncooked because it's gross, right? And I served him an over easy egg that wasn't quite cooked right, and he was so polite and he's like eating it. And I that day went to the store and bought like an entire carton of eggs. And I just cooked an entire like dozen eggs until I figured out how to get like the perfect egg. It's important. And every like, you know, pan is a little different. Every stove is a little different. Just Lingual said, Mia, I know the chicken's done, but it's funny to imagine the chicken saluting. That would be cute. Taylor says, I've been really enjoying the process of sculpting and printing miniatures. It's been awesome that you're sharing that journey. Like, it makes me really happy to see, Taylor. Taylor continues, I'm indebted to the patrons of the tavern. There are so many talented artists in this community. Yeah, it's pretty much my biggest flex right now. Like, when I'm just, like, walking through the grocery store, what makes me feel like hot shit is, like, I have the best Discord community and just, well, not just Discord, but I guess on YouTube, too, ever. I am, like, genuinely so proud of you guys. Like, yeah. Again, I don't want kids. I have the job. This is like a big goal for me, so it feels good. I just want my dirt with a lot, like a house. So my house with a lot of dirt. That's pretty much it. Oh, good. Sean says, I'm feeling bad today. I wanted to at least pop in, but it's way past time for a nap. It's glad to see the fun doesn't stop. I'm glad that you kind of tuned in. Some days, you just feel bad. Sometimes there's a reason, sometimes there's not. I hope you feel better soon. Have a good nap. I'm still thinking about the saluting chicken, too. That'd be super funny. This pose quite easily, too. I'm going to move the tail and the tail feathers a touch, add a bit of a bend to this character, and we'll be set. Sean says, is the Discord your kids? Just kidding. Anyway, the joke's been made before, for sure. Which I always think is funny, because I think I'm like the least maternal person out there, but apparently that sentiment has not been shared. It's a simple pose, but it's a powerful one. All right, I'm trying to decide whether I want the shoulders high on this side or on this side. So here's a really important concept. So the fancy word for it is contrapposto, not contrapposta, even though that's an Italian word. Essentially, it's just talking about like what makes a figure and the pose of a figure appealing. If you're standing perfectly straight with your shoulders square above your hips, you're like a rectangle, right? What makes a pose look more elegant? You want to like move your shoulders and like think of like a dancer, you know what I mean? Their shoulders are not like this. They're loose and again, they're tilted. So you want your shoulders and your hips to be bent in some way. That's like the simple way to think of it. So I'm applying that same logic to the chicken because right now his hips are bent a little bit. So you kind of have a slant, come on, right here, like that line. The shoulders are perfectly straight. We have like a perfectly straight line right here. It will look more interesting if I pull the shoulder up or push this one down or vice versa. I think that's gonna look best. And notice that I'm just taking my move brush and smushing it. I can do a better job later. But right now we're kind of like in that sketching and like designing phase. When you're sculpting, just don't get so obsessed with with it looking perfect. Just like make sure you sketch and that you're having fun, you're playing with your design still. It's so important. Just Single says, I'll probably hop on Discord later to sculpt. People are also having a bad day and want non-committal conversations. I love me some non-committal conversations. So I feel like when I was in California, again, I lived in the same hour radius like for the first 27 years of my life. So a lot of the friendships that I had were very deep and very meaningful. But honestly, being out here in Tennessee has been great because I kind of start from scratch a little bit. And I joked to Ricky, like, I don't even want to know the last name of my friends. It's not because I don't want to like be able to be there for them, but like there's something about just focusing on having fun. Like when you're a kid again, in some ways. I know it's not always possible when you're an adult with like adult responsibilities, but non-committal conversations are my fucking favorite. Keep it light, you know? Keep it fun. Because life, it has plenty of not fun and it's heavy, you know? Again, what a flex that happens in my Discord server. Makes me so happy. Very proud. Can you imagine just like in the grocery store and I'm like, I have cooler presents than you. Just like out of context. Like, what? So I'm using the shirt right here to kind of flare up the side and give a little more drama to his funny little chicken pose. We're almost done here. I'm going to use the belt to further accentuate that. There we go. So like this versus like this. I need to reposition the turkey leg, but there we go. Yes, contrapposto. I get that. Just singles, like that's me lately. Everything is too heavy, so my conversations are starting to lean towards keeping it light. I found that the older I've gotten to, the more I'm like over things being really serious. I'm like, can we just have fun? I love the head tilt where you can't really see his face. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send a picture of this to my dad. He is gonna get a kick out of this. This is like exactly the kind of dumb shit he just loves. Okay, yeah, Monkey's gonna hang out in Discord chat tonight if anyone wants to hang out. Speaking of, you guys are like, hey, where is this party happening? It's happening here. It's the Peasant Social Pub. So after my stream, you guys are more than welcome to hang out there. Or during my stream too. Oh my god, I wouldn't be like, you have to hang out with me first. Like, you can just go here now. Or to be like Monkey, you can do both. I'm going to curl the edge of this hat just a touch. All right. I think that's a wrap. Let's do a little spin around on this very silly bird. So by default, sometimes ZBrush will like pivot your model randomly and it's kind of hard to know what's going on. Just hold down Command, mask a little circle at the center of your model, and then hold down Command, click and drag a box anywhere off your model, and it will reset the pivot point. At some point, he lost part of his neck. I'm not sure when that happened. We will fix that. Come here. There we go. This is such a ridiculous model. It's beautiful. Oh, it's the little things. I hope this made your day a little bit better, especially for those having a day. Yeah, where are my other mods? It's just Eloa. Yeah, rip to the other mods. John says, question again, lol, I have ZBrush 2023. I don't have the new version. Is that okay to join your class? Oh, heck yeah. You're newer than me. I have 2022.0.8, which is great because that means if I make any like brushes or assets I want to share with you, you can open anything that I send you. I can't open anything you send me, but that shouldn't be happening anyway. All right, there is our lovely chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate the sword. I might not keep this bonus version, but Paint just had this adorable idea of having it dual wielding, and whether I keep it or not, I have to, it takes no time. I have to at least tuck it under its wing. Amazing. All right, let's go ahead and give this a save. And let's do a little review on the things that we've worked on recently, because we have a lot of new people here, and I really feel like you guys need to know that I don't just sculpt chickens. So, last week we did a really cool armor set, and this was a big deal for me because these models, they're not my usual style per se, and they just turned out incredible. So I did this entire set of armor from scratch on stream 2 weeks ago. So you can actually watch every step of this be done, including the chainmail. I use micropoly for that. But yeah, This is super cool. It was actually for a centaur request. I decided to do the normal human version first because I didn't have a plate armor I was super proud of. So this is a good opportunity for me to make that set, excuse me, from scratch. So yes, that was 2 weeks ago. And then we started working on a secretary bird. Bird folk, this is not done. Secretary birds look insane. This actually is a pretty good start to it. I started iterating from my eagle folk, and this is where we are now. Ooh, and then I should still have it on here, but we did a fox elemental that I'm really, really proud of. It might be just a little too old for me to share that with y'all. Yeah, it's out of my quick saves. That's okay. Yesterday we worked on the black cat, this little bandit, which is inspired from a Liza P character. And then that's their sister, Red Fox. Again, also inspired character from Liza P. You can see the resemblance, but there are quite a few changes. And then I think that's everything I wanted to... Ooh, there's the fox. I just love this model so much, I wanted to share it. Something else I worked on last week. I did 2 versions of it, one with and without the flames. Yeah. I'm really proud of my work this year. I've improved a lot. I think that's everything I wanted to review. That kind of brings us till the end of our stream. Oh yeah, and this crazy monster we did from scratch. Whew, that's a long way to go. Unironically, I do think the chicken musketeer might be one of my favorite models I've ever made, though. There's just so much to like here. Let's get a fun render on this. I'm gonna set my scene, and then I'm gonna go to Lightbox, and go over to Render Set. And then of course, I think the radial light would be perfect because it's going to shine on top of this hat. It's going to be very dramatic. Let's see how this looks. Oh, very drama. It's a little darker than I was wanting it to be. Let's see if I can move the light around. Let's see how that does. Yeah, I think most of my viewers are in America, but a good like 20% or so at least are in overseas. Chicken. Very fancy. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap for today. Bit of a shorter stream overall, not a 5-hour stream, but got a lot of really good work done. So I think we're going to call it there. Just kidding. Click on the wrong button. I'm like, my goodness, I don't just go straight to closing. Sorry about that. I'm like, can you imagine that? I don't say bye. I'm like, oh, we're gonna call it there. I just leave. This is officially the last bit of the stream here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I am an open book. Oops, I moved my chicken. It can be about 3D art. It can be about 3D printing. A little bit of business. Depending how business, I will direct you to my mentorship because that takes a lot more brain. Thin indeed. Dragon to Eloa. How dare you call out my lightweightedness? Yeah, Eloa, how would you know that? Like, how you just like intuit that? Hamster water feeders. Oh my goodness. Surprising nobody. No, I'm also an immense lightweight, but I also like never drink. I also weigh like 120 pounds, so I'm not working with a whole lot. Oh yeah, the prompts for the week. So we have Summer Art Fest going on now. I encourage you guys to participate. All skill levels are welcome, and all mediums are welcome. Did I pin it? I hope I did. Yes, the final art prompts are corrupted, heavenly, and champion. Those 3 words happen to go together really well. You don't have to combine all the prompts. You can just pick one. Up to you. Oh, and a reminder to anyone that's lurking or not already, join the Discord server. I just put an invite in the chat right now. It used to be exclusive to patrons only, but if you enjoy the live streams and hang out, you are just as welcome to be there. I want you there. You're one of the peasants. That is your official invite. What a chill stream. I feel like that went by so fast. And again, if you're like, oh no, stream is already over. Sad. Don't be sad. Hang out in Discord. Monkey's already there. Monkey's all by themselves. Not that they care. Monkey is very independent. But they're working on, a ZBrush model too. So go hang out. That's in the Peasant Social Pub and our Discord server. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave you with that. This is just silly peasant rambling at this point. I will see y'all tomorrow. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, or at least decent. I hope the stream made your day a little bit better, because you guys made my day a little bit better. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Ooh, I'm in Cali. Will the time difference be a problem? No, not at all. You're totally good. I have people that are in India. It doesn't ever become an issue. Plus, it's only 3 hours. I'm actually from California. That's where I grew up like my entire life. I went to Fresno State University. I grew up in Hanford, if you know where that's at. Anyway. Alrighty, y'all. Oh, congrats on Taka beating the last Elden Ring DLC boss. Damn. You guys are being super interesting the second I'm trying to leave. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Noonish Eastern time. I'll see you then. Yes. Alright, seriously. Take care. Bye.